Hey guys, Michael here from michaelsherlock.com. I'm here with the Kyocera Echo, and I want to just show you multitasking. Now, this is an Android smartphone, so obviously it has the multitasking that you'd expect with standard Android devices. But because it has this second screen, it allows for a much more seamless multitasking experience. Now, let me preface this by saying there are very limited applications that can actually take advantage of it. Now, you can go to the little link that I just clicked on, and there will be more apps for you that support this multitasking, but out of the box there's essentially very little app support. Now, this kind of makes sense. You need to specifically program this for your app to work, but conversely you'd expect that Sprint, as well as the hardware manufacturer, would have taken a little bit more time to get app support. But let's just show you how this works. So first, let's open up messaging. Well, actually, let me just show you one thing real quick. If you can see here on that application, there's this little thing to the right of the icon, this little vertical blue line, if you will. That shows that that particular app can be multitasked with. So just on the front page here, email, messaging, and contacts will work. And if we go to all applications, the browser is supported. Contacts, messaging. There's a YouTube client down here, videoQue, and I'll get to some of those apps in a second. So let's just quickly show you how this works and then give you some demos. So we can open up messaging here, and when you start off, it'll tell you that you can launch a second application by touching both screens at the same time. So we're going to dismiss that. So to start off, this will work like any other application. As a normal application that's not optimized for this, it'll just stretch out to two screens. If we double tap though, we can get a second thing. So now let's say we wanted to look at our email as well. So now you can see that it's taken over the screen. We can go back. I don't want to enter that information in right now. But now you can see there's two applications running. You have messaging, and if you wanted to compose a message, it takes over the whole screen again, but then you can just go back, and then it releases. So let's say we wanted to try out something else. We could double click. Now this right here will give you the ability to switch screens. So if you want to switch, you can do that. So let's change this up here. Let's put gallery on the top. And so you could be looking at pictures and videos that you had and typing up some SMS messages here. Or you can go ahead and click to the camera. And the camera is actually pretty cool, although it doesn't actually support multitasking at this point. It actually takes advantage of both the screens, which is pretty cool. So let's go back. So we can double tap again. So let's give you a real strong demo here of how this can be applied. Let's launch videoQue, which is that YouTube-esque thing. And basically, if we go back, I just searched. I can show you exactly what I did. I went to search, and I just searched for my own videos, so there was no copyright issues. And what's cool about videoQue is what you can actually do is queue up the video, and if you ran it in full, and you can actually set it up so that there are actually multiple videos in the queue. But what's cool is if I click here, let's switch screens actually. Let's put it on the top. And let's see here. Let's put the browser in the bottom. So you're watching a YouTube video and browsing the web. So you watch this, you heard Michael Sherlock, right? So now you can go to the browser, swipe enabled, type Michael Sherlock. So you can go ahead and load that up. So now as the bottom is loading, you're watching the video. And while that's loading, you can actually zoom in, completely using the web page as if you would anytime. If you want to go to full screen for the browser, you can do that. And if you want to go back to the multitasking view, you can just pull that back up. Pretty cool. So let's double click again. It gives you this option here. You can stretch it to both screens for videoQue. So now if you wanted to watch that video with both screens, you have this option here. So this is what I was telling you about before, where you can queue up videos. So once you could just drag another videoQue video over here, and once my video ends, that next video will play. But also, since there are two screens here, you can actually play it and stretch it over both screens so that you have that huge extended window for a really nice viewing experience. Quality is actually pretty good, and depending if you're connected to a high Wi-Fi or not, or strong Wi-Fi network, I'm actually running this all over 3G, you can actually increase quality as well. Then if you just want to go back, you can do that, and there's also zoom in and out if that's something that you want to do. So let's just look at one more thing here. We'll look at the phone on the bottom, and we'll go to the browser again on the top. Whoops, did that wrong, my apologies. We'll put the phone on top. So let's say you were at a website. You know what, we can just use michaelsherlock.com again as an example. Let's say you were looking at the Contact Me page. You can go ahead and pull that up. Again, this is all over 3G, as you can see. So that's what the speed is. So let's say for whatever reason there's actually a phone number on the Contact Michael Sherlock page. You can look at it, and if it's not clickable and you don't want to copy and paste, you can just go right up here and just start arbitrarily typing numbers, and then you can go ahead and call right from there. Now, just one thing of note, there are actually, depending on which window you actually have two sets of Android keys. So if you're at the top, you have your home, your options, and your back up here. And if you're at the bottom, those are conversely controlled by the corresponding buttons down here. So you have two sets. And that does make sense, because if you're running different applications, you want to be able to go back a web page, but maybe not necessarily exit out of that and go back to videoQue. So it does make sense, and you also would definitely need it if you took it out of that dual screen mode and just did it like this. So again, this is the multitasking review of the Kyocera Echo. It works pretty well, although I just wish that there were more applications that supported the dual screen mode. But overall, even though this isn't a dual core CPU or by any stretch of the imagination, you can still very easily browse the web and watch YouTube videos at the same exact time through videoQue and the browser respectively. So it's actually a very amazing feat that they were able to accomplish that with the hardware that's present. And this entire demo was run over 3G, and speed issues were basically non-existent. So I'm very impressed by multitasking on this phone, the Kyocera Echo. I expect that there will be more phones in the future that support this feature, this dual screen mode. Expect a full review and some more video content coming in the coming weeks. I'm Michael Sherlock from michaelsherlock.com. Thanks for watching. Were you excited about this true multitasking demo? I'd love to hear your feedback in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day.